everyone, it's Kayla here, and today I'm sharing my layout for day 4. The day 4 scrap lift you can see now in the corner. I will also link this down below as well. And I really love today's lift. It was definitely one of my favourite picks. I love the whole layout. I love the frames. I love how each frame is like embellished with different embellishments. I do love how on the original the frames are done with tone on tone embellishing. I'm not going to do that on my page today, but I'm definitely taking a lot of inspiration from the original layout today. So I've used my silhouette and I've cut out some frames and I've just cut them in white cardstock. I'm going to be using a pattern paper background, which is something that I'm really wanting to try and do more of this year. And I'm also trying to focus on older photos. I'm more drawn to newer photographs, but I've got a huge stack dating back to 2011 of photographs, and I'm trying to focus on some of those earlier years of my children. Now this photo was actually taken in 2015, and it's a photo of Darcy when she was a baby. So I've put my photo in the top frame just like in the original layout. And now I'm just like rummaging through embellishments. The collection that I'm using is the Daydream collection by Coco Vanilla, and I've kind of been hoarding this collection. I've done a couple of layouts with it, but not very many, and I think it's just because it's so beautiful. I kind of don't want to use it all up. But it is perfect, and the colours are perfect for these baby photos of Darcy. So now I'm just kind of rummaging through embellishments, having a look what I've got. I'm fussy cutting out some rainbows, thinking I may add some of those into the frames. But at this point I kind of don't really know what I'm going to put in these frames, so I'm just trying out lots of different things. So now I've gone off camera. I felt like I was fiddling quite a lot, and there was going to be a lot of footage of me just fiddling around with things. So I went off camera and had a really good look. And I decided to fussy cut out some of the florals from one of the pattern paper. And I've kind of gone for matching florals in a way, even though each floral cluster is completely different. I went for ones with this yellow flower in. I kind of really wanted to bring in some yellow onto this page. So by having this yellow flower in each of the frames, it kind of ties them all in together. And I've also pulled out a few other bits and bobs that I'm going to add to some of the frames as well. I've added a little yellow heart on the frame with the photograph. It's not stuck down yet. This is kind of just placed where I'm kind of thinking I want things to go. And I've stuck the florals behind the frame, kind of angling them slightly different in each frame. The bottom one, the floral clusters at the bottom. The frame on the left side, the florals are on the left, and the frame on the right side, the florals are on the right in the frame. But I'm also going to add a rainbow into the right hand frame, and a few other little bits and bobs. And I'm going to bring in some, one of the butterflies from one of the pattern papers, which I also fussy cut out. And that's the beauty with the Coco Vanilla collections. There's so many of the pattern papers that you can use just to cut out more embellishments to use. And I do find that I use up the embellishments within these collections quite quickly. So having the option to create more with the papers is perfect. I've decided to go for this rainbow in my frame. I have fussy cut out quite a few different of the rainbows and tried them in, but I felt like this one had more of the colours that are kind of within each of the frames. So that worked better for me. So I'm going to attach that into the frame. And just leave that to dry before I cut that off. And I'm going to attach down my yellow heart on top of the photograph. I didn't feel like the photo needed any embellishments, but just one little heart just brought that yellow into each of the frames. Now I'm just cutting off the excess of the rainbow, and I really like how that looks. I think I have stuck it in slightly wonky, but the glue dried quite quickly, so I was unable to kind of move that around. So now I think I'm going to start sticking down my frames so then I can finish off with the finishing touches. And I think in the original there is a lot more embellishments within the frames, but for the collection and the supplies that I was using, I felt like I didn't need to add too much into my frames. I'm also scrapping in A4, so although I've tried to keep the placement of the frames quite close to the original, I did end up with a little gap in the middle, which I do kind of fill that in with my title instead, which you'll see shortly. So I'm just sticking down these frames now. They're in the position that I want them in. I didn't get like my ruler out and check that I was placing them in the correct place or anything like that. I kind of eyeballed it for this, and I think it is slightly off, but you know, it's I'm fine with that. It's not too bad. I don't think anyone, you know, my family members or anything like that would notice. I'm just sticking in a little word sticker, and I'm going to add a little heart as well into the right hand frame. And then I think after this I come in with the pattern paper and fussy cut out one of the butterflies, which I really love the butterflies in this collection. There's lots of different colours, different shapes and patterns on the butterflies, and I really like how they look. They're not all the same, so you can create some really nice designs with just these alone. And I add a blue butterfly to the left hand frame. I felt like I needed to bring a little bit more blue into the page, just so that the colour, you know, the colours are all over the page and not just in one area of the page. And these are really easy to fussy cut out as well. They're not too fiddly. You know, I kept the footage in for that, and usually I'd cut out footage of me fussy cutting because it can take some time. But these were really easy and quick to cut out. And I'm going to pop the wings up on some foam and stick the butterfly down in the middle, so it gives the illusion that it's flying on the page. And I do this a lot with butterflies, because I just think it just gives a bit of movement to the page instead of, you know, everything being stuck down flat. So now I'm going to come in with some sequins from my stash, and these are just an iridescent colour, so they really pick up the pink, the corally pink on the background. So I'm going to add those in each of the frames apart from the frame with the photograph. And it just adds a little bit of sparkle to the page. And I really do feel like it needed a little bit of sparkle on this page, because it's a very pretty page. It's very girly. And anyone that knows Darcy's personality, she is full on sparkle. She loves all things sparkly and girly and pretty. Although I find it very difficult now. Now she's 5. To get her to wear dresses. Even though she's so girly with everything else, she really doesn't like dresses. You know, that may change as she gets older, I don't know, but it can be a little bit of a battle to get her to wear dresses. She definitely prefers her jeans or her leggings, or she even prefers shorts. If Darcy had her way, she'd be wearing shorts this time of year, which obviously is definitely not shorts weather. So now I'm going to come in with my title, and I've gone for a really simple title that I've probably used countless amount of times on sleepy children or baby layouts, and I've just gone for Sweet Dreams because it does work quite well. You know, she's sleeping in the photo. Darcy was a very sleepy baby, She slept a lot, a lot more than her brother did. He was definitely more of an awake baby. So here's the close-ups. If you do join in with me with today's lift, please do tag me on Instagram, and also check out Xochitl and Rebecca's layouts, which they will have shared on Instagram as well. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.